into the start of this tournament, right? All the teams I feel like in the top 6 have a realistic shot at taking this event.
Here we go. Right off the break, watching Zuma as he's able to hit sandbags and get into top red. All the kills coming through. That's a clean wipe there for FaZe Clan. It's replays that picks up 2. Attach and Zuma attack one on, and Rise coming off respawn is looking for their first kill, and there it comes in the back of Looney.
All right, so a strong start for Rise. Let's see if they can keep it rolling as this game winds up progressing.
Strong start for Rise. You mean FaZe?
Did I say sorry? Strong start for FaZe. Let's see if they can keep it rolling here inside the hard point. It's going to be Zuma. He's got 3 kills to his name. Combine that with Priesta, who's 2-0. It's a good start for them. And Zuma actually forgot to pick a 3rd-tier score streak.
I mean, I guess the good thing before the change, if you left out Fighter Pilot, that's really painful because you got it a lot, right? At least now, 850, it's a little bit more difficult to earn. So maybe not as costly, but still, not what you want to see.
Yeah, you never know. You've seen it so many times for Zuma where he just goes on these sequences where he takes over. He's certainly capable of earning that 3rd tier.
We'll keep an eye on it.
Probably just an honest mistake, but we're moving to the second hard point here. It's Rise with early control of the winery lot, and you see what FaZe are trying to do here. Stack the ammo side of the map, play for spawns, try to take out this anchoring player, but none of that really works. It's only Priesta here left alive. Slashers here should be able to get this trade. Works alongside Gunless, and now FaZe spawning out over near the field side of the map. They're wasting no time trying to push on through.
But this helmet, they hit so fast, like so much transition had to happen there for Rise to deal with the ammo push that suddenly it's coming from the front. You have to wrap everybody back, but the equalizer and Gunless comes in and picks up 3 kills. If he doesn't do that, the break from the front might have come through, and look how quickly Gunless got towards streaks.
And I'm glad you picked up on that because it's a subtle change that the infinite sprint now adds to the dynamic of the game. You're able to make these pushes happen so much quicker. Gunless only able to earn that glide bomb, and he's going to waste no time calling it in. With 10 seconds remaining on the winery lot hardpoint, he's going to use it in rotation to his upcoming hardpoint, takes down replays. What can his teammates do off the back of this?
Look at, they're waiting to spawn. Like, Replays is waiting because with Slasher's position, he's worried he's going to spawn out.
Well
so
done.
He waits and then he spawns safe. Heads up play from Replays.
Yeah, good on you for pointing that out, man. Maybe coming in hot with the game knowledge. You love to see it.
Yeah, what do you know? You know, I'm just becoming that analytical mastermind that I really want to be, Revan. You know, casting with you, I only cast with you and Joe now. You got to think some of the intelligence from you two is going to rub off on me a little bit.
You figure it's only a matter of time, right? But anyways, we're at the parking lot hardpoint. Rise Nation, they've been able to break on through finally. It's TJ Howley inside the hardpoint, and he's close to working towards some streaks of his own, and he's going to earn them another glide bomb available here for Rise Nation. Let's see if TJ could earn any more.
And TJ just is such a key factor for this team. I mean, you can nearly tie the success of this Rise roster sometimes to how he performs, and he is able to get fully streaked out. And Rise now looking to build a bit of a lead, only up 10 right now, but both teams having some streaks to work with, right, is we're going to get into lookout posts. So we'll see if this maybe is where we're going to start to see some of these big streaks come in, but the pinch does come through for FaZe Clan. They're able to get a little bit of early control here.
This has been such a long rotation from Slasher. We saw him earlier fighting through the radio tower side of the map. He checks out top red and now towards the shed, and there you go. That's why they're playing off of the glide bomb. They get the information. They spot the players, going for the player inside the hardpoint, takes out Priesta, but no follow-up yet from Rise Nation as a couple players fell as that glide bomb was being called in, so they're going to reset and try to re-break into this hardpoint. But Priesta's just been finding kills, and this is what he's done for this FaZe team all throughout World War II, just coming up clutch when they need him to. He's really impressed everybody with his flex capabilities.
Are you maybe surprised how close this game is considering the start from Attach? I mean, he's 4-11 right now, a guy that you, I guess, kind of need to pick up kills. I mean, you don't really expect off games from him, but still right in this game.
Yeah, maybe a little bit surprising, but look, it's still early in this game, and you asked me a similar question coming into the series. I think it's just going to be close and contested all the way through. Both these teams.
Every FaZe series is like that. Yeah. Every FaZe series is like that.
I mean, they play everybody tough, and Rise Nation, of course, you heard Looney talking about it coming into this one. It's kind of like a trial phase right now with Slasher. They're still gelling, still trying to fill each other out.
And Zuma, I mean, he's playing with a handicap. He doesn't put on the fighter pilot. You know, he wants an extended series right now. He's playing with a challenge. But just like that, FaZe bringing it back with nice control here of Restaurant, now down by 10 and looking for a potential lead change. Roaming mid-street is going to be Attach, who's looking to heat up after the slow start. We'll see if Rise can break in or maybe disrupt the points that continue to come through. No lead change yet for FaZe. It's Gunless that's able to get into the hard point. Priest is going to have a lot to deal with here. He's got some help over the top from Attach, just trying to put shots through the wall, but not really connecting there, Revan.
Right now it's a tie game, 99 for each team. Finally, we see a team hit that triple-digit mark. It's going to be Rise Nation breaking on in first. And you see where they're slowing up on the mini-map, right over towards that back ammo side of the map. So as time starts to wind down, 10 seconds remaining on this restaurant hardpoint. You want to see Rise just give up these remaining points. Get some early positioning over near the winery hardpoint, but Priest is here to play some spoiler.
And Attach, we called out 4 and 10, goes on back-to-back 4-kill streaks with his life. But now, no one in the hardpoint. You do have the close spawn and ammo right now for Rise, so they should be able to get the early setup. What do you think about the collapse potential right now from FaZe? Pretty spread out.
Yeah, I love it. They have a great spread on the map, and the artillery barrage is going to get called in as well by Rise Nation. But as FaZe go in and they break into spawns, they take control of it. That artillery barrage is going to be working against Rise here.
Yeah, you don't want to see a red circle on the map and red arrows trying to run through it. That is the opposite.
Looney's going to try.
He tries to get through. They're able to get the break. Who was that? There was somebody that was really close to streaks for FaZe, I believe, but dropped just a little bit short.
Might have been Attach. He was on the back-to-back 4
Okay,
streak.
so got pretty close. Look at that. Kill feed entirely yellow. Another lead change. As FaZe now back in front as these two juggernauts in North America continue to go toe-to-toe. You had a victory. You have a championship for Rise Nation. You have a championship for FaZe Clan. The potential of these two teams, incredible.
Yeah, and you love to see the decisive play from FaZe Clan right there. As soon as they pick up the final kills inside the hardpoint, they waste no time at all. Immediately flooding through the field side of the map, they give up those ammo side spawns. One player from Rise Nation did wind up spawning out over near the back side of the map, but FaZe, they're just playing straight up safe hardpoint. They know the situations, they're playing for the spawns. This is exactly how you want to see them play. But as things stand, it's still essentially a tied game. Both teams around 130 points.
And there's the break. FaZe able to get in quickly. They spawn 2 players out from Rise Nation, and they'll get set up. Now look at Priesta. Very close to streaks now. He's picked up a bar off the ground and trying to get an angle here from mid. Can he tack on? Another kill here. Gets vision on one for a moment, but his teammate Replay is actually able to pick it up, just hunting for this kill. The streaks will come off of it. Just gets the glide bomb. As Gunless, I think, was able to trade that out, but finally a bit of a lead, a bit of separation here for FaZe Clan, and what's been incredibly back and forth, just lead change after lead change, but Attach with a nice 2-piece there on the top side of our next start point. You've got a nice little spread. You've got Attach covering the top. They're spawning bottom. In the hard point will be Priesta when the rotation comes in, and you got a pretty nice setup here, but as Attach drops, there's an opportunity here for Rise maybe to make a play.
Yeah, we've seen some explosive plays so far from either team, but take a look at the slang right now that we see in this game. Nobody on Rise Nation is going positive right now, and Slasher's starting to struggle. 14 and 17. He's got the least amount of kills for Rise Nation right now. It's not something typical that we see from Slasher. Maybe he's still trying to find his role on this team and solidify his spot.
Well, if there is one team that's going to outslay it could be this FaZe roster. We know like they have been one of the most, I guess, solid and consistent teams. You just talk about overall statistics, overall KD when you look across the 3 game modes. So not shocked that it might be FaZe that's doing this to them. They are a very tough team to play against. They have a ton of slaying power. But despite the fact that they've got the edge, they haven't pushed out too big of a lead yet. Granted, nobody really that negative, but yeah, like you said, no one on Rise really going off, man. FaZe able to hold him back.
Yeah, for me, what's setting FaZe apart from Rise Nation in this game right now is Replays and Priest are both helping each other out inside the hardpoint. You see them both over 1:15 inside the hill, whereas on the side of Rise Nation, it's only TJ, 1:10. You want somebody else has to play the objective so you can play off one another.
You don't want TJ, the one in the hardpoint. Like, you want somebody, even though Slasher's like a faster AR, you want Slasher in the hardpoint, right? You don't want your guy that you want running around the map to have 1:10 of the hardpoint. What story does that tell you for Rise Nation, that your fastest player is the one with your hardpoint time?
I think it might be just like a desperation play, like, oh, you know, TJ, you're the closest one in, just hop in, soak up some time. And now they're starting to play some catch-up here. They're down by 60 seconds, nearly a full hard point. Time's starting to wind down. You got to start thinking ahead as we're moving back to Winery.
It likely means you haven't had a lot of nice early setups with a lot of control, right? It's been very scrappy. So that's probably props to FaZe, who have kept this, I guess, not the cleanest game for Rise. And a big part of why the lead now blowing up. FaZe is up 60. They're looking to bury them right now. 10 points remaining in Restaurant. There's a lot of pressure coming in. I was going to say Looney and Gunless have to go big, but Looney's going to get picked, and now Gunless has to rotate into Grandma's by himself. The spawn's going to be taken control of by FaZe Clan. They can end the game here.
Yeah, fortunately for Rise Nation, Gunless was here contesting for the spawns, but they have to work quickly. Only 10 more seconds for FaZe Clan to close out map number 1. And keep in mind, on a map like St. Marie, this rotation from Winery over towards Parking Lot, if we see it coming up next, is going to be one that will decide the game. But right now, 5 seconds left for FaZe to close this one out.
Rise needs to be perfect. If they get these 40 seconds, they're still going to be trailing by 45, and I don't believe they have any streaks to work with in rotation. to the next hard point. So this is nearly impossible, but you can't count out Rise yet. So much talent, and they need every single bit of it here if they're going to bring it back.
But as it stands, the kills are going in favor of Rise Nation. Now, the issue is here, because this is such a long rotation coming up, FaZe Clan, they have a big enough lead where they can afford to give up the remaining scrap time. And Rise Nation, they know it. They know that they have to commit to this rotation over towards the parking lot side of the map. They got to find the kills, and they got to find them now.
Looney almost connects in the wall bang, but this could be it. They're spawning out. Yeah, they're not going to get nearly close enough. FaZe Clan able to take that game one of which we saw a ton of back and forth, a lot of lead changes, but ultimately in the final couple of minutes, FaZe able to pull away.
And suddenly, we're starting to see one of the teams that stuck together performing really well, and on top of that, hey, they're the ones that won the biggest tournament of the year. They were able to win Stage 1 playoffs. What is it about this team, Nameless, where, I mean, look, they've had probably the longest road you could have this year. They start out as a team that has to fight out of the open bracket. They get better and better with each performance. They break the curse of not winning for 900 some days. And everyone says that they're super annoying to play. What is it about this team that has gotten them to a place where teams are talking about them in this way?
I mean, I think Zuma, Priesta, and Attach they're really aggressive and talented submachine gun players. And, you know, Priesta plays that switch really well where he has to use an AR. And right there, they just outslayed Rise by about 20 kills. So to be able to do that against a team like Rise shows that, you know, you can stay composed and you can perform at the top level consistently. I mean, they're bringing that momentum right into this tournament. And they played well right there.
I want to talk just a little bit about, what, do you want to say something, maybe? Just go ahead and say
I was just going to say, like, yeah, the momentum, but, like, I still feel like there's, like, a lot of pressure on FaZe right now. Like, you got through, like, the first roster mania, you got that victory, you're kind of playing with, like, house money. All the pressure's on Rise. Like, we've talked about the fact that I have said that I didn't think there would be chemistry issues for this particular team because I thought they'd see success. Like, there's so much talent on it. I wasn't really worried about Rise, but if you come out to this tournament and you start in the losers bracket and maybe you have an early exit, like,
There's a lot of pressure on Slasher on that team, too.
Yeah, I think kind of on all of them. Like Looney, if he's the one that was the forefront of making the decision to get rid of Methods and bring in Slasher, there's pressure on him. TJ, who's been underperforming, there's pressure on him. Gunless, if you're considered the best player in the game, there's pressure on you, and Slasher, obviously. So I think from basically every single angle you look at this, there is a lot of pressure on Rise.
They made the first change.
Yeah,
the first roster.
They were I mean, I guess you could say Slasher from Envy was sort of the domino, but yes, that was the first actual change for a kind of a full roster. So they started it all. They don't want to start a losers bracket.
Exactly, and you know, you were kind of one of the big advocates for just go for pure talent. If
100%.
You think you're upgrading talent, it should be a good trade. Revan, in general, what do you think of this trade? We haven't actually gotten to see you weigh in on it, at least while I was on the desk. What do you think of this trade?
I mean, it's tough to say. I think just from a talent aspect, yes, I would want somebody like Slasher on my team over somebody like Methods. Just over the past couple of years, Slasher has had the better performances. I mean, the guy's a world champ. If you were to tell me, like, oh, I'm going to add a world champion to your team, but I'm going to make you worse, like, it's going to be crazy. You always go for the world champ.
Of course.
But at the same time, it's going to take time, right? It's a new player. He plays, even though they're both playing main AR role, like, they played a little bit differently. Like, they had their stylistic differences in game. Rise Nation just need to adjust it and figure out that system where Slasher could get comfortable, where he could start taking over the game again. And
to follow up on that, Revan, is there anything in the map pool that sticks out to you that you think will really give them that opportunity to try to shoot ahead in this series?
I think maybe you start to favor some AR-heavy maps. Like, that could be a reason why we're seeing Gibraltar in this series. You know, a map where Slasher could set up, post up, get comfortable in the map, and just mow down everybody that comes his way.
I've got a question for Nameless in a way. How much do you think Rise is invested in this change? In the sense of, like, let's say it's going to take time, but let's say they come out and get, like, top 20, top 16.
I saw Slasher was a little bit frustrated backstage, and it's just with how they're performing at the moment. But I think this is more of a stage 2 play. They made this roster to win stage 2, and they're testing out here.
And we definitely have to keep that in our mind, but round 1 already underway. 3 players on each side. Let's jump straight into the action.
Here we go, early advantage, 3-on-2 for FaZe Clan. 2v2 quickly, Pistol though, able to connect, and now it's gonna be all on TJ Haley. He's trying to isolate him top, he's able to do that. Priesta rushing forward for the trade, but TJ able to get away. And now we've got a one-on-one to kick off round 1. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, TJ anticipating the chase as Priesta shot at him while he was running away. So now just playing for information. If you're TJ, you got plenty of time to work with. Even though the bomb is dropped, you figure Priesta's just gonna play it. So now he's gonna re-peek. Jiggle peeks, the spot Priesta. Oh, he's gonna commit to the challenge. Priesta with the high ground. TJ just trying to play around the column, waiting, hip fire, just trying to bait out some shots. Takes the fight, not gonna win it. I mean, Priester right there just had the better positioning, simple as that.
Yeah, if you were able to somehow find an STG on the ground for TJ, does that become much more manageable?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like you have a PPSH in that situation. If you route back to mid, still just as hard of a gunfight. Like, there's no angle he can take there that becomes easier, well, much easier with PPSH. Unless he found an STG, that's tough.
Yeah, completely agree with you there. He had to find an avenue of attack. He decided to just waste some time off the clock and then re-challenge from the Bell side of the map. So he's just trying to play in Priest's mind. Priest has got to think, okay, haven't seen him in a while over near Bell. He could be pushing mid, could maybe be wrapping my spawn. You know, TJ had to make a play happen, and unfortunately, he just didn't hit the shots. Nice snipe from Attach to open up the second round.
Oh, he hit the shot. Attach able to connect. He had 3 kills in the first round. 4th already as we're very early into round 2. So an incredible start from Attach. We know he's a guy that can drop bombs and search and destroy, that's for sure.
I mean, considering he had a pretty slow start to the hard point, he was really able to turn it around towards the end and now continuing it here in the search and destroy. But FaZe with the man advantage, Rise Nation looking for an opportunity to answer back. Nade comes out from Attach. They're isolating the player over near the top platform, and they connect. Double nade onto Looney. They take him out. So now it's a 4v2 man advantage for FaZe. They're going to be able to take that B bomb site, looking for the bomb plant soon. Zuma spots one mid-map, but Gunless is there covering his teammate. Brings it to 3v2, so within 1.
Zuma hasn't added the fighter pilot on yet, so forgot between games to get that done. But
someone should have told him.
Oh, they're trying to get the plant down. It's going to get picked, so now it's on Attach. He has sniper in hand. He did get vision on 1. Can he peek the angle? Well, he peeks it and gets cut down almost immediately as Rise are able to take the round. Now, Rise, you know,
I've 2v4.
Yeah, 2v4 they pull off, and I heard, you know, part of the reason they made this change was to improve in a mode like Search and Destroy. And at least in the first map, did you and I cast the Echo Fox? That was with Joe, right?
Yeah, that was with Joe.
I mean, it was Slasher. At least in both Search and Destroy, Slasher had to be in a 1v3, 1v4. Like, it felt like 10 times. Like, it was almost unbelievable. I'm curious if maybe they're able to clean things up a little bit here.
That's also the role he plays.
You're right, it is.
Kind of anchoring down a lane.
But
and
you don't want to see it every other round.
Yeah, of course. You also want to put yourself in a position where you could follow up your teammate, right, and play off of their trades and try to cover them as they're going into battle. But it's an early team kill for Rise Nation. But talking about Slash, he's got 2 kills already in this round, and Gunless, he's going to find 2 more. He's on, what was it, like a 4 or 6 free right now. Rise Nation really starting to heat up here.
And I think that's what's scary about this Rise team, and I think you can say the same about the FaZe team. You've got almost every player on the roster.
Just explosive.
Exactly, just capable of, you know, taking a gunfight against 2 players and somehow coming out on top. And right there it was, I think, Slasher got a couple shots into the guy at Wood, hits him with a nade to finish it, then beams the guy that was in the cabin alley to open things up, and well, you saw Gunless handle business there at mid-map.
Yeah, if we can we stay over with Gunless? Okay, so 200 points away, I saw quickly from acquiring that glide bomb, and looks like he might find some pressure over near the A bomb site. The rest of his teammates, though, barreling right up the middle of the map, spots one inside bunker. Initial shots go down on the Priesta. But in the meantime, this time, it's TJ Halley. He finds the early 2 kills in this round. He's on a 3 spree as CWL. You'd love to see the Search and Destroy superstar on this Rise Nation squad find his footing in this game.
And this Rise team, I'll tell you what, they think if they're going to be able to consistently win Search and Destroy, they're going to consistently win tournaments. But where they struggle, where they trip up against Echo Fox, it was both the Search and Destroy. So you got to think, if they talk anything over from that series to this one, it had to be the Search.
Yeah, if we know anything about Slasher, they were most definitely talking about those games after the series. And Gunless, he's going to be locking down Wood, working with Slasher as they take down Priest. It's all up to Attach. A 1v4 scenario for him. He gets cut down. No kills made for FaZe in that round as Rise Nation, they go up 3-1.
Well, I'm pretty sure you have, what, like Slasher building towards streaks, TJ building towards streaks, and also Gunless. I think you have 3 or 4 kills in a row for all 3 of those players.
And you know, FaZe are certainly counting up those points, right? And the thing is, you know, with these new changes come to the divisions, like, you feel so uncomfortable switching to Mountain because everybody has a stun, has a grenade to throw at you.
How much harder, so you know, you hear people talk about, oh, he's close to streaks, and sometimes you have to do a little bit of math, obviously, in the moment because of assists and stuff like that, but how different is it when you make the streaks a little bit harder to get? Does having more points make it a little bit harder to track, or you don't really think so?
I'd say a little bit harder. I mean, look, addition is hard, especially when you're in the heat of the moment like this.
Maybe a silly question, but I'm curious if maybe it's a little bit
I will tell you
difficult.
it's a lot easier when it's early in the game and early in the rounds because, you know, typically if somebody has like 8 kills, you know, through the first 3 rounds, you're like, you know, he's probably got streaks.
Well, Gunless has got 6 kills in a row. In the past, he'd be having streaks. Now, still working towards this, very, very close. Just doing what he can to try and get it, but unfortunately TJ, maybe his bait in front is going to drop with no trade there for him.
Well, the thing
the last two players are the ones working towards streaks.
Yeah, Gunless got the grenade hit marker onto attach, so we tried to like bait in TJ Halley so he could get the assist points. Unfortunately, he just didn't connect on the shots. He winds up falling. But yeah, both these players just trying to stay alive, and right now it's Gunless, the closer one towards some streaks, so Slasher has to be the bait here.
It's like either the bait or are they just going to let this round go to time? I mean, you have
maybe
a 3-1
you go for
edge.
time, yeah.
You have a 3-1 edge, and maybe you just play for these streaks. I'm curious because I don't think either wants to bait the other. They're both working towards it. They might just end up like hiding around bunker.
Hey, listen, it's not a bad play to make. You're only giving up one round, but if you could potentially earn streaks on both of these players, it's more than worth giving up this one round.
And you got to think they're playing with their minds a little bit too, maybe. Like, you know, Gunless has 6 kills in a row. Maybe going into the next round, FaZe is wondering, hey, maybe he got streaks or maybe he's getting close because they don't think he probably would have invested in them in a 2v3. So they could be thinking maybe he still got something to toy with.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on what player earns them, right? Some players would choose to call in the streak right away because there's a less likely chance that they have something like a mountain on, so that streak would have more of an impact. You gain more information from it. But as I was just talking about, now you feel a bit more uncomfortable switching to that mountain division because you're going to be weak to one of these grenades thrown at you.
So no one changed. Okay. Oh, attached it. All right. So at least one player has mountain on. That's for the silent movement or maybe dealing with the pressure. But Zuma able to get the opening kill. Priesta follows it up. And once again, your 2 players remaining there trying to get streaks.
Please.
Yes. Let it go. Yes. He tries to kill him, and he's able to get out. Oh, almost snaps onto the second, but as Slasher gets the kill, it's all going to fall to Gunless, and he's still looking for that kill, still looking for those streaks, and now he's in a terrible spot. He's been spotted. They have a presence near top ruins. Replays now gets in position with the AR, and the bomb's planted. I think you're hiding for 40 seconds again.
This is a bit of a tougher play to make because one attaches on a 2-spree. He gets the bomb plant, and if you're going to let the bomb explode, you're just going to be feeding more score to the other team.
What would you do here? I feel like you have to play the time, right? Like, so close to streaks?
Well, yeah, the decision has been made. The decision has been made to play for streaks. That's his play call, and now FaZe, they're going to start to fan out a little bit. Obviously, they know that Gunless is on a spree. They know that he's close to the streaks, and the way that he's playing, I think they can just deduce that he doesn't have them yet, but he's close to earning them.
He has a chance here. He has a chance here. He just spotted attach.
If you're attached, you don't want to fight this. There's no reason. You're the guy who planted the bomb. You're working towards some streaks of your own. One of your other teammates could go fight this, sure, but the last thing you want to do is feed a kill to Gunless.
Yeah, they just spot him. They're going to pin him in the back. And yeah, another round where Rise basically are taken out of it early and then buy their time as they're still trying to build behind streaks. But do you, what do you think about the Slasher play? I mean, he had a couple of different options, right? He could have shot at the guy first going into broken, then cleaned up the bomb carrier. He could have waited for a ninja. It looks like he was. Do you think he was a little bit indecisive in trying to figure it out?
At first, I thought he was just going to wait for the ninja, but then I was like, okay, but he's just playing for more information. And no, you have that internal clock in your head. He's counting to those 7.5 seconds, so he knows when that bomb is about to get planted. Unfortunately, there's a guy above him on the platform, right, losing to the high ground advantage. But
he read it. I mean, he was almost able to pick up that as well, but not able to do it. Now, it's been several round wins in a row for FaZe. There you go. So waiting the 2 rounds, it pays off, right? Especially if you're able to get the rest of the streaks. Well, yeah, that's true. If you don't use the streaks well, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, and we've seen it, you know, throughout World War II where some streaks just haven't had a big of an impact as we would have thought. But now it's all down to replays. A 1v4 for him. He's looking for some kills.
Wait, Gunless set the plan as well, right? So would he pick up more?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's
got everything.
Okay.
And he's using the mortar strike over the artillery barrage here.
So you have to think, well, again, as long as they're used well, it ends up being very smart plays made by Gunless and company, especially when you get a round victory like that and you're able to get the full streaks throughout it. But you did maybe allow FaZe to get a little bit back into it. Granted, it was still, a 2v3 situation you had for Slasher, a 1v3 for Gunless, so not necessarily very winnable situations that you had.
Yeah, absolutely. In those situations, the odds are just stacked against you. So just play time, don't feed score, and you keep your progression. Could pay off in these later rounds as now we see the guys on FaZe Clan. Yeah, they know that once Gunless gets that kill, more score streaks are in play, so I see a lot of them just switching off to Mountain. Going to be safe, but that's obviously going to make them weak to any concussions thrown their way, as you see the majority of them rocking Hunker.
That's a good point. You know, now with the changes, everybody mostly running armored. If you're going to pull out Mountain, yeah, it's like the only time we're going to see people really susceptible to it. Like it's like it goes from being a spot check with the stuns again to once again being able to really be a difference maker.
Yeah, it could also work both ways. You know, you get that stun hit marker, you might overcommit to some certain fights on the map. It's all situational here in World War II, but Gunless is able to find a kill there onto Zuma, ties things up with the man count.
7 in a row. Gunless asserting his dominance here as he is 7-1, and Priesta almost gets top mantling there.
Priest is trapped. He's got nowhere to go. coming around the flank. Slasher should be able to clean up this kill easy peasy. We see where the other two FaZe members are as Priesta falls. Slasher still with the element of surprise here for a moment, but it's all down to attach and replays. It's a 2v3 situation for them.
Yeah, Replays has now been spotted and Replays has been beamed. Nice shots there from Looney. So you should get your 5th round here for Rise, plus you have the streaks to play behind. It's looking like this is going to be a 1-1 series unless FaZe can survive a whole heck of a lot to bring it back here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you're just speaking about the impact that streaks are going to have, especially against a team like FaZe Clan. Just being able to slow them down. You know, we always talk about how aggressive Zuma and Attach are, and when you take off, well, force them to not run energetic as that basic training. Now they have Hunker on. It's just going to slow down their pushes, slow them down. I think that's definitely one of the keys to look out for whenever you're playing against a team like FaZe.
Certainly, but FaZe, if we've seen anything, they can pull off some crazy comebacks. I believe Arden Forest S&D was, they won that twice, I believe, in the 2 best-of-5s of Optic in the grand final. That's actually where they closed it out, the 10th and final map where they were able to become victors. Can they bring it back now with a little late game magic? Priesta, grenade over the top, that should catch Gunless or at least weaken him here. No, that must have gone a little bit deeper. Gunless almost able to take that gunfight, but not able to do it. So Priesta gonna stay alive for a little bit longer in this one, but you're still in trouble this fight though. Attach him behind. This could be the difference here. This is gonna be a round win. This is gonna be a round win for FaZe. 2, there's the 3rd. The head gets removed. The helmet on the ground, and Attach makes the play as he hits the flank.
If there's one thing we've learned about this FaZe lineup is that you can never count them out of any map, any scenario. They fight until the very end, right up until the point where it says round lost, game lost. FaZe they still think that they're in it, and they're one of the best teams that we have when it comes to bouncing back from losses and finding their way back into series. And look, they need one more round to force in round 11. Of course, they know that Gunless has those streaks available. He hasn't decided to use them any yet. We'll see as we enter round number 10. It's going to be FaZe on the offensive end. It's up to them to choose, dictate where the action is going to happen. As it stands early on, it's Attach putting early pressure on towards that A bomb site, but the bomb waiting over towards that mid alley. Attach actually winds up falling. Gunless picks up first blood, and now his teammates are left to dry.
Now, yeah, I would say now to get the streaks in this game. You got the first one, ended here, he didn't spot him. Oh, still gonna get Zuma though, so able to pick up one there that was laying at fire cup, but Priesta doing what he can to still maybe even the odds. Suddenly though, it's Replays by himself. He had an incredible 1v3 in the grand final, the Stage 1 playoffs as it begin here. There's the first kill, can't get away. Rise, get it done, and now our series tied up at 1 apiece. Revan, we thought it'd be a long series, and it's looking that way.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, it seems like every match to close out the day always goes to Game 5, so just extending it further here. But this is what we want to see. Coming into this one, I thought that this was going to be a close, contested series. Both teams are great. I mean, all the competition in World War II is close, but for me in that Search and Destroy, it was really up to getting those streaks, right? Once Gunless acquired those streaks and FaZe knew that those streaks were in play, they switched up their classes, and ever since then, they couldn't really get things rolling.
It's FaZe versus Rise, your Stage 1 champs going up against your Atlanta champs. Everyone looking for their piece of the pie here in CWL Seattle. Guys, we'll be right back after this quick break.
last series of day number 1 here at CWL Seattle, and we have a real one on our hands. 1-1. A roster that has stuck together, a roster that has made changes. Very excited to get back into it, but we'd be remiss if we didn't mention some of the other matches that are going on as well. Nameless, we actually thought that we were reading things wrong when we saw some of the results. Cole and EU, they're going to be tied up 1-1, but Mindfreak is leading against LG right now 2-1. Clint,
well, Mindfreak, that actually didn't shock me as much because Mindfreak's had, a couple, I think, haven't they been up 2-0 twice in LG and they got reverse sweep?
Trouble.
But I'm pretty sure I saw the complexity game, and I think they were up like 3-0 at half in the CTF, so they were controlling that as well. I heard Sensor go, "Let's go, Rick, great plays!" I was like, oh my God.
He gets hyped.
I will say, I've casted Mindfreak LG match that went all the way to a game 5.
I think it's happened twice this year, or I'm making that up.
It definitely happened once. I'm not sure if it happened twice. You know, I don't know why today. I'm trusting you. I think it's because we bonded over tacos and stuff. But all right, let's talk to someone who actually knows what he's talking about. Nameless, what do you think is going on in that series?
I think LG are just having some trouble today as a team finding that composure that they've had all year. You know, I think after losing some maps that they felt like they should have won, it's really taken a toll on them, and their chemistry is just all out of whack at the moment. And it's definitely shown in this match. I mean, Dens just went 35 and 24 with 3 captures. That's an incredible stat line against a team like Luminosity. So a lot of teams are taking these maps off them where it's just every single map LG may be losing a little bit of confidence or, you know, starting to doubt their teammates and stuff like that. And that takes a toll on you, especially on a pool play day like this where you have multiple matches. So
keep that in your mind. We're going to keep you updated with all of the matches, but on our main stage, this is the one that we are very excited to jump into. Game number 3, Rise versus FaZe, all tied up.
Here we go, and this is a map, honestly, Revan, where FaZe, the only time I see them lose it is against the old Team Caliber roster. TK would have their number. I watched them beat them 4-0. I watched them beat them 3-0. But every other team I watch FaZe play here, they get the victory. Curious what Rise Nation's going to be able to do with their new look roster.
Really felt like you were about to jinx him there as Looney's running that flag out. I thought he was going to be able to get out of there. You had Gumless posted up over near top plat as well. But FaZe will stabilize after that early push from Rise Nation. It's going to be attached now on your screen as he's trying to make a play happen. Gets great timing there on the TJ Halley. He's getting flanked right now. He's going to turn around, can't pick up that kill onto Looney, but now you're starting to see teams, especially in the early stages of CTF, start to slow things down, try to establish map control as we're watching replays. Now Zuma, you saw that stat line coming into this one. As long as Zuma stays even or positive, FaZe should be able to take this one.
Would you say that this might be the map and mode that the streak change might affect the most?
Yeah.
How many times have we seen like a snowball here? Like you get an early score or two, you get some streaks, and like the other team is just like on the back foot the entire game?
Yeah, that has typically been the story for Ardents for CTF up until this moment in time, and now we're starting to see it played with the new impact of the score streak changes. I really like the changes, and I think they've been good for the competitive scenes from what I've seen so far. But back into the action here, it's going to be a stalemate situation, as is typically the case on Ardents for CTF. But keep an eye on TJ Halley. He's the guy being the aggressor for Rise Nation. You see Zuma being the aggressor for FaZe Clan. Both of those players do get cleaned up, and replays start some streaks, so they could use that glide bomb to catalyze some offense here.
Yeah, it's actually it's wild that, you know, we talked about it more difficult to get streaks. He really hasn't put through a score yet. He only has 4 kills in a row, but the objective play maybe plus a couple of assists, and he's already got.
Pick up the flag, you get some kills with the flag. All those score
true.
multipliers wind up piling up, and
so
at least the replays having a glide bomb.
That's big. Now, can he get the rest of them? Will be the question. Maybe force Rise Nation into using Mountain earlier than they'd expect to in this one. Honestly, the glide bomb could be huge in just ending this stalemate. If they're able to get some map position, that could be a difference maker. Unfortunately for them, they don't really have anything to play behind right now. Attached has been pushed back into cabin. Yes, you have Ruins control with Priesta right now, but they need to find a couple of kills and get up the map, and that's not what's happening right now. So you hope that you can use that glide bomb offensively and not to save your flag carrier.
Yeah, I was about to say, the thing with Priesta playing over near Ruins right is that he's blocking the spawn. So the glide bomb does get called in. We'll take out the flag carrier.
Zuma doesn't get across, though.
Yeah.
I think Zuma was really close to like diving across the bunker. And well, what do you think there by the glide bomb use? Because if they kill the guy that was shooting at Zuma, maybe he has a one-on-one and can win it. But they go for, I think they thought he was going to get across, so they go to kill the flag carrier and hope he can get the return.
Well, the thing is, you call him the glide bomb, and you know the flag carrier immediately thinks, oh wow, this glide bomb's coming for me. So, and the other teammates don't really know what's going on. Usually they're going to go into cover, but Zuma just winds up getting picked off at the most opportune moment. And I was about to say, you saw in that stalemate situation as well, Priesta was controlling the Ruins side of the map, right? He was set up on the platform. Him being there blocks off the belt side spawns for the other team. So every time Rise Nation, they were spawned up, one there right next to their flag carrier, and then they just fight right through the bunker side of the map. It was a nightmare for Attach and Zuma to just constantly fight through the field side of the map. Like, it's so tough to win those engagements as an SMG player.
Absolutely is. Getting closer and closer to streaks. So, okay, replays. This is big because he's by himself and he's able to pick up some streaks. Wins one gunfight, wins the second. There's one more here. There's one more here.
He doesn't know.
He gets away for a moment, but there's going to be the return, and this will be a score on the board for Rise. The silver lining for FaZe, you get some streaks to work with, but almost kind of a 1v3 heroic play that comes out of replays just falls a little bit short.
Imagine if replays just artillery barrages himself.
Yeah.
You never know what kind of pinch could be coming in. And,
yeah.
You know, he picked up 2. He probably figured he was clear. Usually it's safe to assume that at least one guy's helping out the flag carrier, right? Just playing a little bit of defense, but not the case here. So you trade a flag cap for some streaks. We'll see if FaZe can make something happen off the back of replays.
If we've seen anything or learned anything today, that player probably would have waltzed right through the artillery unscathed and got the return. Oh, I think I've seen like 3 times today, right? Okay, well, 45 seconds left in this first half, Revan. Rise Nation up 1-0. FaZe, though, have an opportunity here to make a push, but unfortunately, it's Looney on the flank that's going to disrupt it.
Oh, well, he actually gets taken down. Attach finds a kill as well, so that's 2 down for Rise Nation. It's down to Slasher on the defensive end, working alongside Gunless. The bench starting to form in for FaZe, but looks like they're a little bit too spread out. A good spawn comes in from Zuma. FaZe should be able to put in at least one good push as replaces off spawn as well. Is this a moment where you maybe think of investing the streak? I guess it depends on how these first kills come in. Wait, he's just going to call in the fighter pilot right away. Picks up 1, but his teammates are all falling as he comes out of the fighter pilot. Well, he is from bunker, but he's all alone trying to make a play happen, and that fighter pilot gets nothing done.
So both streaks don't lead to much. I mean, the one thing I think you kind of saw there from Slasher's POV, and you mentioned it earlier in another map, but when you have to switch the mountain, you lose armor. And you saw Slasher in the back, like all of a sudden those stuns, again, they go from like spot checks, like it's a Black Ops 2 EMP, to suddenly the stuns are scary again. And you kind of saw that for a moment, but it didn't matter because everyone on Rise won their gunfights and they were able to hold.
So yeah, we were talking about what would be more beneficial, the trade for the flag cap or earning the streaks for FaZe. Well, the streaks get nothing done for FaZe, so I'm going to go with the flag cap was a better move there from Rise Nation, and now they have a chance coming to this next half to maybe earn some of their own. And because that fighter pilot gets called in, now because it's that tier 3 score streak, if you're on Rise Nation, you know, okay, maybe a mortar strike or artillery barrage are in play.
Very true. Well, here we go. We know how big these opening breaks can be in CTF. First kill goes to Rise, but quickly answered as Priest is able to find 2 nice ones. But TJ has kind of slipped through the cracks for a moment here. Yeah, it's a one-on-one. You need to win.
Yeah, especially because his teammate was just shooting at Attach. He knew he was coming near the belt side of the map. Just maybe he just aimed in a little bit late, but an opportune moment for Attach there to pick up a big kill. Stops the offense coming in from Rise Nation. Now FaZe pushing right through the cabin side of the map. It's Zuma working alongside Priesta as they're putting pressure onto the Rise Nation flag.
Slasher getting pushed. FaZe members maybe at risk of putting some bullets into each other as they were trying to both peek into this narrow ice tunnel. Now you've got 3 up off spawn. You still have an artillery to work with. We'll see if maybe that comes into play. You hope one of these streaks leads to a cap. I mean, both have been used offensively.
Yeah, I guess if you want to use the barrage offensively, maybe use it on like the back bridge. I think it's best to use this for like the cutoff and overextension, right? If you push down the ruin side of the map, get a flag pull out, then you could call in the barrage over near the open field and try to have it connect on the players that are pushing into bunker off the overextension.
This is an opportunity. You've still got 2 players here from FaZe. That's going to be the touch. Now you've got it out in the hands of Attach and a chance to make a play. This is what you mentioned. Maybe this is where you want to invest it and kind of drop. There you go. Exactly what you were talking about, Revan. There is going to come the drop. One player did get into bunker, but Zuma's ready for it. It's going to push them into mid-map, but they're all still kind of in bunker. They're going to need help here. He can't cross yet, so Attach is going to get picked. Gunless is able to make the play, and they might get the return off of this. Zuma is going to be the last hope. He's got a little bit out from mid. TJ trying to get to it. There's the return, and that has got to be gut-wrenching for FaZe Clan.
That was a little awkward, too, because there was like a bit of a slope there for TJ. He couldn't get the dive in, gets the return regardless, but take a look at the stat line from replays right here. 13-4 on a 4-3, working towards some more streaks, but his team is down by 1 flag.
Was that
a bit weird to see?
Was it like a weird, were you surprised how much focus they had to field considering their artillery was there? Like it didn't seem like there was a whole lot of help for Attach to get across.
I feel like you call in the artillery to cut off field and then you could focus down middle of the map. It seems like every time on Ardennes 4 CTF when you see that return coming on that side of the map, it's because you let the other team get control of that mid street. They get the crossfire set up, they kill the flag carrier over near your belt. It's a clutch return from TJ Holly after that, but FaZe have to make something happen on this push.
It's like that's where you wanted to push him, right? That's where you wanted to funnel him. Didn't work out though, but now Priest gets another touch, and this is the spawn that's so dangerous on this side. You get a very easy overextension. It's like a 5-second waltz, and suddenly you're near the flag. So Pressure from Rise again. Can they deal with it again? So far, it looks like it. All the kills coming in their way. Replay's going to have to make a play. First gunfight going to go his way. But Looney already up in the face of Priesta. He's able to win one. Priesta wins a second. And that's going to be the score. What a big play from Priesta as there comes in the tying cap with 2 minutes to go.
Plutzy gets fully streaked out from that flag capture. Now his FaZe start to think about putting on some more offensive pressure. They have all those toys to play with. Replays is able to find some opening kills there. Zuma to pick up the third. It's all down to Slasher, the last remaining player. All four go down. As these players come off respawn, maybe you think of waiting a second or two to call in these streaks. As Priest is going to lay down. Yep, going to call in the fighter pilot.
And now these guys that spawn field are thinking about the early extension. It becomes a little bit more difficult. He's going to pick one up off him, tries to get one in the back, but that number one, Looney's already got the whole way through. Yeah, Mountain's going to get him through. And now they have to hunt for a kill. They still have to get a flag. They haven't actually got the touch yet. Slasher's still here. Slasher providing a bit of a disruption. They are going to get the flag out, but Slasher actually picks up the second kill as well. This might turn into a cap for Rise somehow.
Attach is the last one here to keeping it alive as, yeah, Looney was able to get that flag pull out.
Attach does enough.
That was unbelievable. That Attach just finds a way to stay alive, and I was actually peeping Slasher's class right there. So he has Mountain as well as Scoped on, so he's not immune to any grenades being thrown his way.
It worked out though. He was able to get a couple. Well, it ultimately didn't. His Attach made the play, but he was able to slow that down as much as he could individually. Now a 1-1 game. 50 seconds on the clock. Remember, you have streaks for FaZe, and they have two players pushed up the map. They're probably waiting for replays to get on the action. Now you got to think the streaks are going to start to come in. Priest is going to invest something here. Yeah, here we go. So glide bomb in. Who does he isolate? They're going to go for the flag carrier in the back, and now the collapse is going to come in. Zuma able to win the gunfight. There's two players here to deal with. Make it one. Last man's going to be TJ Haley. There's the return, and there's the score for FaZe with under 30 to go.
And plus Attach has significant progress towards some score streaks of his own. Priest on your screen now. He's got the cutoffs. He finds Looney as well as Slasher with 17 seconds remaining in the final round. This is looking good for FaZe Clan to go up 2-1 in the series.
And that was a lead for Rise Nation through what? 7 minutes, something like that. They led throughout almost the entire game. That 1-0 lead held for so long.
Yeah.
But down the stretch, it's your stage 1 champs that go big. And FaZe Clan now in control of this series.
Obviously, the stakes on the main stage are going to be massive. It is going to have huge implications on this tournament. FaZe now leading. But we got to look at these other matches as well. And Nameless, it kind of goes hand in hand, the two matches that are going on. Mind Freak versus LG, that's now been pushed to a Game 5. E United is playing against Cole. Both of these are a battle for Pool C.
Yeah, I mean, it could very well be a battle of who gets second in the pool between, EU and LG. So LG needs to win this match. EU needs to win. Not only do they need to win, they need LG to lose.
Exactly, yeah. So LG has pushed it to a Game 5. So if they come out on top, that's going to really kind of decide the pool. But this matchup is also something we need to be paying attention to, Revan.
Yeah, of course. And coming into this tournament, if you would have told me that Luminosity were fighting for their lives to get second in their pool, I probably would have slapped you. They seem to just not be playing their normal selves so far, but still a lot of important games left to play. They're not out of it just yet, but yes, we're focusing on Complexity versus E United, and Complexity, another one of those teams where they just throw together a roster, they're here to play, and they're proving everyone wrong once again.
Has anyone taken a look at overall KDs yet? I know I've seen some stuff tweeted out about Formal. It's been really impressive. I haven't watched. Only things I've seen from Complexity are when we have these little glimpses into the games, but every time I've looked, Dashy's like +10. Yeah. At least when I've hopped into the games, he's been dominating. Just from a stat standpoint, I'm just curious where he's kind of ranking right now amongst everybody.
So that's actually 100% not how stats work. So we're gonna.
What?
I just messed with you, Maven.
Anyways, I watched them play earlier, and actually, it was just kind of like trading off which map who was going off. Like Doug had a map earlier today where he was 30-16 versus LG to close out the series. And we're looking at this right here, and Dashy's 30-19. So it's kind of just a team effort. Everybody's stepping up when they need to step up here, and this is just all around well played out of Complexity.
Doug Sensor Martin is the best Call of Duty player in the world. He's winning champs this year. He's winning champs this year.
I told this story a few times.
I'm lying. I don't believe in that at all.
Well, listen, just say it on Trading Shots and it'll come true.
Yeah, the Trading Shots curse is very real. But the thing that's crazy is I've told the story a few times. Last year, he comes up to me and he says, hey, look, I'm going to play next year. I didn't believe him. He said that he was going to win champs. And all of a sudden, he's managed to just continually position himself on teams over and over again. Every time that it seems like he is not going to be a factor in the league at all, he actually jumps up higher than he was before on a better team. And now for some reason, this Complexity team, Revan, is working.
I feel like him and Dashy just work really well off one another. You know, as Nameless was saying, sometimes they just trade maps back and forth, but it's the pressure that Sensor brings to the table that allows Dashy to set up. And when Dashy sets up, it allows Sensor to just keep running through.
Question about the United side, though, for you, Nameless. Like, you see the two subs. Obviously, Bristini having a great map, 39 and 30.
Yeah.
But Fellow kind of lagging behind a little bit. Have you been able to watch United a little bit and see how this new team change has worked out for them?
I've been hearing about them scrimming online, and basically what the story's been is that Clay's been the one that's going off for them. So to see Bristini stepping up here like this, especially after how he was talking before the event, he feels like he's confident in this new team.
They need that.
Yep. He likes the ability to be able to play fast alongside Fellow, and it's showing here he has 40 kills. The game isn't even, it's not that close to being over yet. He can end this game with 50.
Have we seen a 50 bomb from a sub on Ardent Forest?
No way. No chance.
I don't think so. I don't think it's been close, honestly. I mean, every bomb we've seen dropped on this map's been an AR for the most part.
I feel like we've seen Kenny drop like 40 plus.
I'm sure it's
Maybe
happened,
not
but
50,
like,
yeah.
look at the score of the game. Like,
Yeah.
he might break 50.
This
Guys.
is an odd stat line.
This is definitely, if you want to continue watching that one, you can jump on over to the Bravo stream. It is a very important matchup, but we here got to start talking about that match going on the main stage. But first, I want to take a look at the play of the game presented by Scuff. This one happened in the CTF, Revan.
All right, let's take a look at it. It's going to be, we're in this stalemate situation right now. You see Gunless on your screen. He's just trying to buy time, and you know, time winding down here, 45 seconds remaining. It's about to happen. Once the streak gets called in, there you go. Priesta calls in the glide bomb, and that's the switch. They flip it, and then they all just collapse on the flag. Zuma wins the important engagement on the slasher. Even though he's weak, Replays gets the kill on the Gunless just in time for Zuma to get the return. Attach gets the flag cap. With only 25 seconds remaining, that's the game-winning play.
So I could ask this question to our in-house statistician, Maven, but for some reason, no particular reason, I'm going to ask you, Nameless. Maybe because I trust you way more than that bald man.
I do too.
Who do you think is going to be able to close? Do you think FaZe Clan closes it out here, or do you think we're going to a Game 5?
I think FaZe is going to close it here, and simply because of the fact I was watching Zuma play that map, and I don't know how he was doing it, but every time he got to their base, he was winning an insane gunfight on somebody that he should not win it against.
It's FaZe. So
it was-
you want stats from Maven?
No,
It's a
we
FaZe-
actually
hear it.
didn't.
Let's hear
We
it.
did not ask Maven for anything. Revan.
It's a
when
goddamn
we go
FaZe
Revan,
series.
when-
It's going to a Game 5.
When we jump into
They're going
this.
to close it out, dude.
All right. I think it's Game 5.
All right, let's see if we're bringing it to a Game 5. We're jumping right back in. FaZe versus Rise. This is the last matchup of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, are we going to a Game 5, or does FaZe close it out here?
Here we go, Revan. Here we go. I mean, I want a Game 5 for selfish reasons because I enjoy myself a good Game 5, but let's take a look at the lower third of your screen right now. Slasher is one of 3 players in Call of Duty World War II that holds a top 10 KD in both Respawn and Search and Destroy. That's a hell of a statistic considering some of the struggles his former roster had at times.
I mean, look, there's a reason why Rise Nation went after him, right? There's a reason they replaced their MVP from the tournament win with a guy like Slasher. You know what he brings to the table, and on a map like Gibraltar, you expect to see him come into his final form.
Well, here we go. It's Looney up close and personal trying to deal with Replays and Zuma, but ultimately ends up falling. It's TJ now wrapping back and trying to get a little bit of a flank on. He's able to do just that. Spots really like the entire squad in front of him and chops down 2 before he gets taken out as well. Slasher is going to find the other side of it, and Rise Nation will tack on more time, but they've got to go ahead and break through. Slasher's now got an SMG to work with as well as he tries to apply pressure, but it's FaZe with the spawn.
And as I think about the matchup between both these teams on this match specifically, this is going to be a really interesting one to watch. I think the assault rifles on the side of Rise Nation are stronger than that on the side of FaZe Clan, but on this map, I think the subs on FaZe are stronger than the subs on Rise Nation. I've seen FaZe play this map quite often, and the pressure that Attach and Zuma put on the map, especially on this courtyard hardpoint, the second one in the rotation, like they constantly push up into bricks, and they're always in their opponent's face, and this is going to be a clean 4 down for Rise Nation. Take a look at the minimap. You're going to start to see these subs start to push on forward. Look to see them get more interactions as this game progresses.
Yeah, it's like what's the bigger edge? The AR edge for Rise or the sub edge for FaZe, and what's more important on a map like Gibraltar? I mean, typically your gut would tell you AR, exactly, but who knows? It's a FaZe series. Anything can happen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's Attach heating up right now. He's on a 4 spree, 300 points away from that glide bomb. Never mind, now he's going to be 0 as Gunless cuts him down. But as he spawns out over near Cave, FaZe are in a great spot for this upcoming hard point. There's only 15 seconds remaining over on Fort Courtyard as we're about to move over towards Castle Road. FaZe have the early positioning. They have the spawns in their favor. If they get these early kills in transition, this could be a full 60 for them.
Yeah, Zuma's the one in a real dangerous position because they have to get through him before they can even apply pressure to the next hard point.
There's a player right there. There we go.
There comes the call. Now his position, given away a little bit, is I think he fired off a couple of bullets. A team kill, though, for Rise Nation is going to maybe be a self-inflicted wound that's going to go ahead and delay their push. Zuma's pushed out, Attached is pushed out all the way to bottom cave. They don't have a lot to worry about right now.
Look, the reason they could push out this far is because Replays is playing safety for them. He's all the way in the back, makes sure that they have those spawns locked down so that they could reinforce into the hard point quicker than the other team. And, you know, it's so tough. I love to see the smoke grenades being brought out to block off that line of sight so Rise Nation can push across the bridge safely. But FaZe Clan, they have the better positioning, right? They're mowing down Rise Nation as they push right across, and it's been a great hard point so far for FaZe.
It really has, but they still have to get the lead, right? And it should be coming here in a matter of seconds unless Rise Nation's able to disrupt. The lead evaporating right now. It was all built up in the second hard point, but Castle Road, it's been all FaZe Clan. This is going to be a flawless 60. They're going to get it perfectly. Now can Rise answer back as we rotate over to turret?
Okay, so Zuma and Prisa combining for a 6-free right here. Inside ladder room, Prisa catches the grenade by Looney, and there you go. They pick up 3 kills in transition. They should be able to establish some control over near that turret hard point, but you see Rise Nation spawning out over near the cave side of the map. Big kill coming in from Looney. Takes down Looney as well as TJ. Zuma's heating up, and we've seen the type of damage he could do.
They still spawn there, though. They still spawn there. The Zuma's like, I just killed both. I thought I cleared them out, but you still get a bit of a split there because you get that left spawn that comes in for FaZe. So they haven't been able to get the break completely yet. Nobody in the hard point right now. TJ trying to do what he can in a very powerful position here at these top steps, but nice grenade there from Attached to at least clear him out momentarily, and we've got basically a tie game yet again.
Yep, it's going to be Rise Nation. They should be able to get control, and as I say that, 3 kills come in from FaZe Clan. Typically, you prefer fighting from the side Rise Nation we're on right there. You like the ladder room as well as working with that bottom truck as well. You can just open up all different angles to set up some crossfires. And now Slasher on top of the rotation as we're about to start another fresh rotation of hard points here, moving back towards the center of the map. Nice shots there on Replays, but he gets quickly traded out. Inside the new hard point, it's going to be Looney. You see TJ Halley putting on some pressure over near top bricks. Now, it's always a little unworrying or a little unsettling when you see SMG players get a bit too aggressive over towards bricks because you hate to see them flip spawns, you know, early on in this first hard point.
Let's see if they're able to hold the spawns and still manage to get a little bit aggressive. Nice shots there from TJ at range, but the rest of the kills outside of Gunless go the way of FaZe Clan. Can Gunless continue to make the play? He's so worried about that kind of top area there at bricks that he's going to get pushed from the front by Replays. And right now it'll be FaZe in the hard point, but Rise set up for next. It's kind of similar to what we saw the first time through.
Yeah, and you know, pretty similar to the first hard point we saw actually, where nobody's stepping up to the plate here on the side of Rise Nation. We thought it would be the assault rifles, you know, Slasher as well as Gunless playing that flex role to have a big impact on this match, but right now a slight advantage going to FaZe when it comes to the overall slaying on this matchup.
Can Attach make a play right now?
Yeah.
He's the only one that can try and do it because the rest of his team's spawning out, but he has a chance to make a play. Needs to play this smart. That could have gone better. Okay, well, he's
I don't know why TJ rechallenged.
Oh, he got someone to spawn with him. He actually got someone to spawn with him. So there's going to be 2 now in the back. They've got an opportunity here for a bit of a collapse.
Does
his teammates need to get there. Hey, look at that. Spawning out is TJ.
But Replays doesn't wind up falling to Looney. Attach should be able to find one more. No, he gets cleaned up as well. So the spawn should be secured here by Rise Nation as Slasher's able to pick up 2. They should be able to stabilize for at least just a quick second here. Now TJ trying to play spoiler. He knows where the members of FaZe Clan are spawning up. If they're not over near the turret side of the map, they're going to be pushing over near the side bridge.
You got to think moments like that are going to be big, though, for FaZe, because if they can hold the next hardpoint Castle Road flawlessly, any disruption you get here to Courtyard, like the first 30 seconds of that, like you said, weren't really stabilized by Rise Nation. They had to continually battle, try to get control. It was a lot easier at the next hardpoint for FaZe, at least the first time through.
Yeah, for a brief moment, it was a combined 13 kill streak from the members of Rise Nation. So I was calling them out, you know, a couple seconds ago for their slaying, and they're starting to pick it back up.
But no streaks yet. That's going to be the big difference maker. Gunless has got to get these streaks. He needs some help. They still haven't been able to deal with Replay. Slasher, I think, tried to come out and assist here. This gunfight is massive.
He's only got 23 bullets.
Gunfight is massive, and he's going to get picked there from the side. So no streaks come in, you actually still have a glide bomb on the side of replays. Gunless gets streaks there. How much easier does that make the break on Castle Road?
It makes it so much easier just being able to use a glide bomb, take off that anchoring player, so you can start to put pressure onto the spawn points on this Castle Road hardpoint. It's attached inside the hill. He's able to find one, takes down Gunless, immediately traded after. Now, because Gunless was unable to earn those streaks, there you go. The smoke grenades not being brought out by Rise Nation, blocking off those lines of sight so they could fight into the hardpoint.
It feels like the first set of rotations to this point is identical to the second. It's almost been the same exact story.
It's reflected in the score as well.
So it's like, where is that separation going to come? Like, when is something going to get flipped on its head? Like, when does someone chain 2 to 3 together or get kind of a dominant hold? But at least your first set to second, it's been a lot of the same.
Yeah, to answer your question, normally it's on this Castle Road hardpoint. It's usually the money hill when teams win this rotation.
Oh, that's fine. Doesn't matter. There's 3 seconds left.
But the glide bomb does get called in by replays. He gets the information. He knows that Rise Nation are going to be fighting through the cave side of the map, so he could back up or he could go for the flank. And it looks like he's going to be aggressive through bricks. He could wrap around all these players coming through cave. Gunless is a bit aware of what could be happening. Yes, on top of it, reads it like a book, takes down replays, and now Rise Nation could focus onto the hardpoint. But we've been saying as kills get exchanged back and forth between these teams, it's still essentially tied up.
Yeah, and considering they don't have any presence mid-map, they're getting a lot of good time here. I mean, this has been, 20 or so seconds straight, and I don't think you could say this is the perfect setup you want from any point. They're down the side you really want to be on. They don't have a top mid presence. The fact that FaZe hasn't been able to clear them out of the hardpoint is kind of astonishing.
I don't think TJ has gotten a single interaction on this.
Yeah.
He's just laid down. He's had his teammates over near top cave covering him up. So he's just laying down, soaking up time, and now Rise Nation, they've built, one of the biggest leads we've seen in this game so far. It's been so back and forth, but now it's time for another fresh rotation of hardpoints. We're going back towards the center of the map as Attach is trying to set up.
So that turret hold could be the big difference maker.
Yeah.
The big change that we saw from the first set to the second. How was Rise able to hold that, even though it wasn't maybe I don't want to say not the prettiest of holds, but not really the setup you necessarily want?
I think it was a combination of Gunless shutting down the flank from replays and then just getting the kills where they mattered. TJ was just locking down, and you have your assault rifles up near top cave, just peppering shots into those FaZe Clan players. It's a little bit of a weird hold, but it can happen. Now, one thing that I did see was Attach was able to earn some score streaks. I know he at least has a glide bomb to work with, so as FaZe, they find themselves down by around 40 points right now, they could use that glide bomb and rotate a little bit late towards these upcoming hard points, take out the anchoring player, and play for spawns off the back of it.
This is a spot we've seen TJ get into before, but last time was kind of Attach in a similar spot, right? Attach on FaZe was trying to get through the back. It was TJ versus Attach last time. TJ was able to win it last time, but still ultimately, remember, he ended up spawning out though, so he worked so hard and still ended up dropping and spawning out. Well, guess what? That's sort of the same situation you have here yet again.
Yeah, this is great for FaZe because you don't have to burn the glide bomb from Attach, and he's going to be able to save it for maybe this upcoming Castle Road hardpoint after Fort Courtyard, but kills starting to come in favor for FaZe. It's going to be Attach inside the hardpoint, just looking to milk some time, and FaZe Clan, they're looking to tie the game up once again. Of course, we've already mentioned how back and forth it's been.
This is another kind of flip on its head, though. I mean, this has mostly been the hardpoint where Rise has been set up. The next has been where FaZe has done a lot of their damage. A little bit of a change here. This sort of counters what we saw at Turret from Rise. Like, the advantage they got there all but evaporates here now at Courtyard due to FaZe doing a good job. But with 30 seconds remaining, Rise now a chance to get into the hard point. Some of the gunfights going their way, but they still need to clear out replays. They're able to do that. Pressure, though, in from top ladder. A nice one-on-one win from Looney. Unfortunately, gets team kill, but Rise, there you go. They're able to slow it down. And now if they get this time, this is dangerous. Like, you're in that realm now where if you're FaZe, you kind of have to win it on this next hard point. Like, you need to get it done. You need that perfect hold that you saw the first time through.
It seems like it's been the case always going into this Castle Road hardpoint. FaZe with the early rotation, early positioning.
I mean,
you got a glide bomb to alleviate some pressure. You got some tools to play with. You just have to make the kills go in your favor, and you win the game.
They've got to have 110 of their points here. I mean, they've been, what perfect hold the first time through, probably a 50-second hold the next time. But now some gunfights being won by Rise Nation. They've got a chance here to break in. A bit of a split spawn. They're going to have to invest this early, so the glide bomb's going to come out. Is that what they need to get the break? They've got 2 players mid-map. They've got 2 in the hard point. But Rise Nation is at least contesting. They've made it so FaZe can't win it here.
Coming around the back.
Oh, God.
Coming around the back, it's Slasher. He sneaks through behind enemy lines. He gets inside the turret building, but the spawn's still in favor for FaZe Clan. Now, FaZe can no longer win on this hard point with the time remaining. So if Rise Nation want, they can give up on this remaining scrap time and invest it into an early setup over near turret.
They contested enough that they couldn't win it there. That was the big thing. So now if you're FaZe, not only do you need to get this remaining time, but you somehow have to win this rotation battle. And last time we were here, Rise Nation locked down turret. Look at the minimap right now. This looks like Rise's game.
Yeah, FaZe, you just got to give up those remaining 5 seconds, and you have to win each and every engagement here, starting with Looney inside cave, but Itachi takes down TJ, attaches inside the hard point. He took up time, only 4 seconds left for FaZe to take this.
He's got to go. Looney's got to get in. Looney able to win it. There's another player that's pushing for the top. Looney able to, a little bit shaky, but finally he gets some help from TJ. The final tick is in. We're going to a game 5.
What an ending to that hard point. You thought for a second there Attach was making a hero play for his team. Somehow wins that engagement against Looney. Oh, what a game, man.
Looney scared me, man. Those shots on the replays, I thought he was going to win it. They were going to win it right there, but thankfully he got some help and they're able to do it. But my God, another game 5 for FaZe Clan. Another game 5 for Rise, who's seen a lot as well. You see a little bit of the frustration there. It continues to maybe mount for Rise despite the fact that they're able to win the map. But it's all going to come down to this. The winner of this, more than likely, is going to secure a spot in the winner's bracket. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You got a replay of that incredible Game 4 as Rise was able to push it to a Game 5. FaZe has an 18-4 record on London Dock Search and Destroy. And guess what? They didn't have a roster change. So that stat, that stat still looks pretty damn good, Revan.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to feel comfortable for FaZe going into this final map of the series, but with a team like Rise Nation, stacked talent from top to bottom, can't count them out of any situation. Even though this might be one of FaZe's better search and destroy maps, when the pressure is on, the Rise Nation players rise to the occasion.
I think we saw a stat earlier that Rise was 12-2 in Game 5. So after Echo Fox, they're now 12-3. Will they be 12-4 is the question. That'd be tough. You know, your two biggest adversaries in the group if you lose in Game 5 fashion, but I guess at least you're getting a lot of maps in with the new guy.
Okay, so early first blood coming in. Comes in by Zuma as he takes down TJ.
Shocking.
Priesta winds up getting traded out, though. Bomb looks like it's dropped for the time being. FaZe need to reassess the situation, fighting for some map control as they're trying to isolate one more player before they decide to wrap back. But I think Rise Nation know that the bomb is dropped.
And Gunless maybe playing a little bit of an off angle there. Wasn't at the back box, just sort of set up mid. Was able to catch Attach. Now Zuma's going to be next up. Oh god, it gets pre-fired. Zuma just keeps running. He can see his back, but oh, there comes the help from replay. So suddenly, it's a 2 versus 2. Bomb is still in coal, and as you can see by the minimap, FaZe is nowhere near it. So they've got to start at least getting across the minimap or hunting for these kills. It looks like they're trying to make the play for the bomb, but they've got Looney and Underground. They've got Slasher to deal with in front coal. This is a scary spot.
His replay's going to sniff this out. Looney spots him. Did they spot each other? Wise play by Looney, I think, just backing up. Slasher knows he's coming from this angle. The bomb should get picked up, but they need to go right for the plant. Looney, he's going to spot Zuma. Zuma knows where he's. Zuma wins the engagement. Looney just got evaporated.
I think Slasher should have won his gunfight as well, and Replay's able to take him. So you get, how great are those two matchups in gunfights? You get Replays on Slasher, your 2 ARs, then you get Looney on Zuma, and Zuma able to win it. Wow.
That was a round where Rise Nation had the control as well. They get the trade after the first blood comes in from Zuma. They know that the bomb is down. Looney goes all the way through Underground. He pushes all the way behind FaZe's initial spawn. But somehow with less than 20 seconds remaining, they win the engagements they have to. FaZe come out. They take round number 1. Rise Nation to respond. Looks like they're going to be attacking over towards that A-bomb site.
Smoke out. It's going to allow them to get in. You can see there's not much of a presence at the A site. Attach is really the only one in quick striking distance, and some players wrapping towards mid-map, but that's going to be an easy site and setup. You're playing a retake, and playing a retake's fine in a 4-on-4 situation, but now down a man early, this is going to be tough. Well, down 2.
Possible. We've seen them make it happen before.
Multiple times.
See if they could do it again.
On this map, right?
And, you know, we were talking about questions. You know, do you want to stay alive to earn these streaks? You remember in that first search and destroy, Rise Nation, they made the decision to stay alive for streaks, and now Zuma has to make the same one on his own. He's got 3 kills already. Make it 4 as he rips Gunless off of the window. Now, as it's a 2v2, bomb planted, FaZe might be thinking that they want to go for this.
They're trying to make the play.
He's coming around.
Zuma and Priesta. Zuma spots it. It's a close gunfight, but he's got another one in the back that's going to make that so tough. Now 12 seconds on the clock. And Priesta, not enough time to work with. Nothing he can do here. Not enough time to hop on it, so that's going to be a round now to Rise. Now, think about how interesting this would be for your 2 series for Rise Nation. They lose to Echo Fox in the Game 5, losing both searches. Now they may have to beat FaZe, winning both the searches. That'd just be kind of a weird day, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, typically when we talk about Rise Nation, they just be coming in and handling business. 3-0, 3-1, winning these series, but
their Atlanta run was easy for the most part.
Taking some time to adjust to the roster change. I mean, look, we get it. It takes some time to gel. Not a lot of time to practice coming into this tournament, but
not for most of the teams that have made changes. So they're all looking pretty damn good.
That is true.
I agree with your sentiment, though. Absolutely. Zuma, what do you know? Another first blood as he just charges up mid-map. No one hitting that wall bang at a barrel, so he's able to just fly on in. But unfortunately, after he picks up the kill, at least unfortunately for FaZe Clan, Rise is able to find 2, so they will have a man advantage. Now, how do you want to play this if you're FaZe? You have bomb down. This is all on replays, right?
Yeah, all on replays to make a play. He does find Gunless, and this is something that FaZe bring to the table often on London Dock Search and Destroy. I saw it when I was rewatching their gameplay against Optic Gaming on this map in the Stage 1 finals. It's something that they'll do. They'll have Priesta kind of lurk over towards that B bomb site, wait for some action going down over near A, draw the rotation out so that they could safely get the bomb down. But even though Zuma gets the first blood, I respect the challenge on the Slasher right after that. He throws the grenade out, trying to tag him him up so he can get the trade kill. Even though Slasher's able to find that responsive kill, it's FaZe Clan winning the round.
Well, it can be a scary spot. You know, you're in a 2v3, and like you said, you know, you have that plant, but there's so much separation there. You think if Zuma drops, they're in trouble. Like, Replays isn't in a position where he can get there very quickly and maybe pick somebody up on bomb, but thankfully for them, he's able to win a gunfight with the pistol. Zuma also picks up the second kill there on the site, and Zuma, well, really, I mean, everyone outside of Attach is kind of taking over right now. Zuma, Replays, and Priest, a very impressive start here. Big part of why they had the 2-1 advantage, and now another first blood. 3 out of the 4 rounds have gone to FaZe.
Yeah, Looney's running Mountain here early in the game. Maybe he's thinking that Zuma could potentially have something. You know, Priest is starting to heat up as well. He's got 4 kills in a row, but 2 quick kills coming in from the side of FaZe Clan. Now it's all down to TJ and Looney.
TJ getting aggressive on this A site, but another kill for Zuma. Attach is tagged up. TJ is able to get out, but Zuma is still just having a party at mid-map as he continues to soar around. What's a way to maybe deal with what Zuma does mid-map? Because we know a lot of times, you know, especially on offense, he will fly out mid. Like, he'll fly out of barrel building and just disrupt and find first bloods, or cut mid-cut, maybe make a play at B like we saw earlier. Like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, typically I would say to throw a stun grenade at him, but obviously he's rocking armored energetic, so he's just running right through the middle of the map. Maybe you could try to play for a contain it and trap him. If he's going to continue to show aggression up through the middle of the map, you could kind of bait him into doing that. Maybe send 2 players to just wait and fire, or try to set up a crossfire as you know he's going to be pushing through. Put yourself in a position where you could catch him sprinting.
Well, this time mixes up a little bit. I believe he had Mountain out.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mountain is out for Zuma right now. There's another first blood. 3 for him, changing up his routes in the opening rounds, maybe trying to go silent there and make a play around the mid box. He's able to get a kill.
And now Priest, he's got a glide bomb to work with, 25 points away from that artillery barrage and 50 from the fighter pilot. If he's able to find 1 more kill, he earns himself 2 more streaks. Stun goes out, and that's going to check up close. It doesn't connect, but there is a player threatening Priesta. He's going to wisely back on up. 25 seconds remaining on the bomb. Oh, nice kill there as he takes down Slasher. It's a 2v2 situation. Rise, they have to make something happen. They got to go quickly here. It's time starting to wind down.
Not a lot of time to work with. The big thing you have is the second player attaching, not that near the action, but Priesta! Priesta on his feet as he just evaporates the entire Rise Nation side.
I'm telling you, my PPSA doesn't shoot like that.
Oh, yeah, it sure as hell
I don't kill like that.
Wow, Priesta just lighting it up. The streak at 6 right now with 2 players remaining. I'll give you a hint. The streak ends at 8 as he picks up both. We cut the clip a little bit short to show him getting excited. I believe that's an ace for him, an 8 in a row. I think you're seeing why London Docks, when it comes to search and destroy, FaZe Clan can be a dominant force.
Yeah, things are just rolling for them, man. And plays like that, you know, just amplifies the mood of the team. It's already a pretty lighthearted mood on the FaZe Clan side, and it's just only going to get better as they keep rolling on in this search and destroy. All the streaks to play with for Priesta. FaZe have a lot to work with, and everything's going their way.
Streak in. What do they spot? He's going to get Slasher inside of Cole. Slasher's going to drop, doesn't realize what side maybe that's coming in on, so chooses the wrong side, at least of Cole, to get behind cover, and he will get picked. So another first blood. It doesn't count that actually in the column for them, so it's actually
a streak.
It's 5 out of 6 now they've been able to pick up first bloods.
Yeah, so for those of you at home who didn't know it, if you get a first blood with a score streak, it won't show up in the tally column, but everything...
Ooh! Just funnel it on in! Funnel on in! Zuma's ready as he kills all 3. Let's make it easier. 1 by 1 by 1. They come in and Tommy, the Stallion, cuts him down. Tramples him like a giant-ass horse.
All right, Clint, but FaZe Clan, I mean, everything's going right for them, and on the side of Rise Nation, things are just collapsing round by round. FaZe have come into this Game 5, and they haven't looked back since round number 1. Zuma 10-3, Priesta 9-1. They combined for 19 kills, just 4 deaths, and you still have 2 streaks to play with. Rise Nation, they know these streaks are in play. They switched to Mountain. They're turning up the aggression, but it's all down to Replays. A 1v2. This has been a quick round, all things said and done, but Replays, he's found himself in similar scenarios. He's certainly capable of clutching up.
Don't count him out. He's crawling through. There's the first. Hits the shots. 1-on-1 now for Replays. So many times FaZe Clan has found themselves in this position. So many times Replays has found himself here. The gunfight goes down. Replays wins it. And that, more than likely, will secure a winner's bracket.